I think you can start.
All right.
Progress. All right.
Hi everyone. Teacher Jeannie is not here this week, so I will help with the lesson. So we are focused. Last week we covered another section of context clues. So this week we'll do a wrap up, a review of what we have learned for the past few weeks. So I'll just briefly go through for those who have not attended some of the lessons, so that everyone's on the same page. So there are actually 5 different types of context clues. So the first one is definition. So definition meaning you can infer or refer to the meaning through the sentence itself. So for example, frugivorous birds prefer eating fruit to any other kind of food. I can infer from the sentence that frugivorous means eating fruit, birds that prefer eating fruit to any other kind of food. And then the next one is example or illustration. So this one is basically the sentence would have an example in it to illustrate to describe the meaning of the word. So you can see here inconspicuous. You can infer from the sentence that inconspicuous means well hidden. And I think Teacher Jeannie also covered synonym and antonym. So synonym means words with similar meanings. Antonym means words with different meanings. So for the first sentence, continuously, the synonym is all the time. So because all the time has the same meaning as continuously. So for the second sentence, I abhor clothes shopping. The antonym is adore, because adore and abhor are 2 different meanings. Adore means you really like, abhor means you hate. So that's synonym and antonym. So for the next type of context clues, we have root word and affixes. So for example, the example in the sentence is ornithology. So you have to break it up into different parts and then to understand to try to understand what the word means. So ornith probably means birds and ology means the study. So that's root word and affixes. So logic or helping words. So these are words that give you inference to the meaning of the sentence. So predators, birds are always on the lookout for predators that might harm their young. So helping words in this case would be harm their young. So we can infer that predators actually means animals that might harm their young. So before we go into the review, does anybody have any questions or do you need any clarifications? Okay. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know, or you can type in the chat, because I think it is still, some of these things are still quite new, so application might be a bit hard, so I understand. So now we'll go into the practice session, and during this exercise, I will need your help to tell me what are the words, to probably explain the meaning of the words in bold, and also to describe to me what type of context clues is being used. So just give it a shot. I know it can be a bit difficult for everyone, but just give it a try. I'll be here to guide you along. So for the first question, we have the results of his experiment seem to contradict the findings of earlier studies. So I need to know the meaning of findings. Can anyone tell me what the meaning, how the meaning of findings?
Finding meaning is searching.
Searching for something.
Okay. Sashi said searching, and Buhumi, sorry, I couldn't hear you just now. What do you say?
Searching for something or someone.
Okay. Okay. So how do you find out which word in the sentence gives you the clue that the findings is what you said earlier? Give it a try. Anyone?
Result.
Then Dharma said results. That's correct. Anyone else?
He said experiment seem.
Oh, the experiment. Okay, so actually the answer is results. And what type of context clue is being used here? Does anyone know? Anyone want to give it a try?
The earlier studies, they said.
So is it okay? Let me just type it here. So from what I described earlier, so what type of
Because
context?
the end of the experiment.
Mm-hmm. So if the results are what?
Yeah, they are finding the fruit of the experiment there.
Yeah, so I think what you're trying to say is that results and findings, they are the same, they have the same meaning, so they are actually synonyms. Wait, let me see if I can convert this to. So, okay, so this one, so the meaning of findings means results. So it's actually like what you all mentioned earlier. This is information discovered as a result of the experiment. So based on this, so the type of context clues used here is actually a synonym, which means words with similar meanings. So from results of experiment, we can find, we understand that the findings, we can probably understand the findings that the findings probably mean results. So that is the meaning, that's the category being used. The synonym is the category being used. So thanks for the participation. So now we'll move on to the next question. The results of his experiment seem to contradict the findings of earlier studies. So I need can anybody venture a guess the definition? And then before we go and figure out what kind of context clues is being used here. So does anybody want to try? Let's see, we have, today we have Chatu, Ajanta, Chamika, Mahisha, Imandi. And I think, does anyone want to give it a try? What does contradict mean?
Sir, contradict mean is a changes between each other.
Sashi, that's a good try. But I think you need to contradict in this case doesn't mean that it does anybody want to share? A bit difficult, huh? So, but just give it a try. So because, okay, let's go back to the type of let's go back to the type of context clues. So we know that we'll do a process of elimination. Okay, so the results seem to contradict the findings, right? So the sentence is quite short, so it doesn't describe or give an example. So it's not example or illustration. So and in that sentence, I don't see any logic or helping words or any definition. So, and I don't know, there's no opposing or similar words as well. So the logical answer is a root word and affixes. Okay, so it's a bit difficult, I know, because contradict is not something that you encounter too often. So what does contradict mean? Let me try to annotate. Does anyone give it a try? I know Sashi tried just now. Does anyone want to try? Okay. Now that we know that it's root word and affixes, so we have to split the words up. So they are contra and dict, right? What does contra mean? Does anybody know? Anybody want to venture a guess? It's okay if you get it wrong. We are all learning, so it's fine. Just sharing out. Sorry?
Against?
Contra. Sorry, Buhumi, you said against, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's correct. Contra means against. So the next word, dict. D-I-C-T. Does anyone want to try and let me know what does dict mean? Against. It's a bit difficult lah. So let me see. Has anyone? Vandama, Sashi. Yeah, it's a bit difficult. And okay, date means speaking. So based on this, can anyone want to try to guess the meaning of contradict?
Successful.
Okay, then Dama says successful. That's a good try. Anyone else wants to try? Mahisha, Shamika. So it's against, right? So the meaning of contradict should be in conflict with, because you can understand from the word contra is against. So that means that the results or the findings are actually they seem to be against or opposed to what they have found out earlier, to the studies conducted earlier. So the definition of contradict would be in conflict with. Okay, so now we move on to the next question. Yeah. Okay. Mark's knowledge of geography was so terrible that he thought China was next to Mexico. Definition of geography. Anybody wants to give it a go? Chatu, Ajanta, Imandi, I'll be very quiet.
About the country.
The
Sir.
country. Does anyone?
Geography definition
Meaning
is
of geography.
meaning of geography, science of earth,
Sorry?
science of earth.
Science of Earth. Okay, that's a good try. That's very close. How do you arrive at the mean? How do you know that this is the science of Earth? What kind of clues do you use? Or do you how do you know that this is the meaning? It's a bit difficult.
About the land and the environment and the situation of the area.
Okay, that's good. So actually, I think you understand the meaning of geography. Meaning of geography is meaning of geography is study of the environment, or it can be also physical study of the earth. So do you remember what teacher Jeannie taught you previously? The different kind of context clues that you can use. So this is which context clues come into play here and is being applied here. Because you see there's no, is it synonym or antonym? Or is it example or illustration or definition or meaning? Give it a go, give it a go. And then I will let you know. I'll try to guide you along. Study of the environment on the earth.
Logical helping words.
That's very close. But there is no Bhumi, right? There's no clue or helping words that tells you that this is the study of the environment. What made you? Is it because of China and Mexico?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think correct answer would be root word and affixes. So you see here that geo actually means the earth. Graphy is a study. So study of geo, when put together, it obviously means study of the earth. So this one comes under root word and affixes. Yeah, it's a bit difficult. This one's a bit difficult. I know this one's a bit difficult, but good try, everyone. So now we move on to the next sentence. A hopefully simpler one. Let's see. Okay. The writer was delighted to hear that her current project would be an ongoing job for the next few months. So ongoing.
Continue.
Continue, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll just put it here. Does anyone have any other suggestions?
Happening yet?
Sorry, happening, is it? Okay, Sashi said happening. Okay, anyone else? This one's also it's a bit difficult, isn't it? Ongoing job. How do you know what, or so how, Sashi and Uhumi, how do you know, how do you know this is continue or happening? Where do you find from the sentence?
Job for the next few months.
Sorry?
For the next few months.
Okay. And Sashi, why do you, where do you find out that it was happening?
I could
Current
get,
project.
Sorry?
Current project.
Oh, current project.
so I could get meaning of ongoing, word of ongoing for the next few months, and I can divide this word on is on an ing form. It is the happening verb, ongoing word show the happening meaning.
Okay, so thanks, Sashi. I think you got it. It's the what we have been discussing earlier is actually the root word and the affixes. So you split the word up correctly. So on, as in it's current, going means it's continuing. So current and continuing. So that is the meaning for ongoing, and the category, the context clue that's being applied here is just give me a moment, root word and affixes. So you find the root word and you split it up like what I described earlier and what Sashi explained. So that is you have it root word and affixes. So on means current and going means continuing. Okay. Okay, so now that's another, I think these few questions are a little bit difficult because it doesn't have any I think the other context clues are easier to guess, but this is a bit difficult to figure out. So thanks everyone for the effort. Now we go on to the next question. Hopefully it's an easier one. Okay, fifth question. To expedite this matter, I offered the official a small gratuity, or as you say, a tip. Unfortunately, my gesture was seen as inappropriate and only slowed down the process. So, what is the meaning of gratuity, and how do you know that? How do you guess the meaning?
Gratuity means a tip. The sentence says, as you say.
It's quite obvious. Okay, thanks, Bhumi. So this one is you can find out from here, you can infer from here, or as you say, a tip. So the definition of gratuity means a tip. And how do you know that it's a tip? How do you know what gratuity means? I think in the earlier part where I covered, I mentioned that you can also look some of the sentences that will define the word. So this is one of the sentence that actually defines the word. Because, or as you say, is telling you that in other words, is a tip. So this is a definition context clue. Okay, very good, Buhumi. Then now we move on to the next. The next question. This one's easier lah. Okay, question 6. Okay, can someone read this for me? It's the same. I just wanted to see whether if you're be able to read the sentence? Does anyone want to volunteer to read this? Whom is it? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
To expedite this matter, I offered the official a small gratuity, or as you say, a tip. Unfortunately, my gesture was seen as inappropriate and only slowed down the process.
Okay, thanks, Bhumi. So the word I think you read okay. It's just that the word is called expedite. The word is called expedite. So just take note of that. It's called expedite. So I need to know the meaning of expedite. Can anyone share with me, or what do you think is the meaning of expedite? So I think let's hear. Sorry?
Solve this problem.
Dama,
Solve. Solve.
Solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solve this matter.
Let me just write it down. Does anyone have any other? Is it this?
Hurry up.
Sorry?
Quickly, sir.
Quickly, is it?
Yeah.
Does anyone wants to guess? Okay, so Dama, Sashi, how do you figure out that this is quickly or this is solve? What kind of where do you which part in the sentence, or how do you refer to which part do you refer to when you to and make you arrive at the conclusion that it's solve or quickly? Is there any part in the sentence?
Because he said he offered the official a small gratuity. Oh, as you also say, a tip.
Oh, that part, is it? Actually, that's not quite right. That's not the part that we are looking at, because they said that this is to expedite this matter, right? So this part, inappropriate and gratuity, is not the part that we infer, because this one is he offered the official a small tip, but this was inappropriate. That's not related to this. That's just saying that this is not right in this situation. So does anyone else wants to figure out which context clue is being used here? Because he said that this was inappropriate and slowed down the process. Can anyone give it a try? We haven't heard from Chatu, Ajanta, Jamika, Mahisha. And I think we have Imandi and Tanuka, new students joining us too. Does anyone want to?
Antonyms.
Sashi, why is it antonym? Which part of it is antonym?
Slow down the process.
Correct. So that's correct. So expedite means quickly. So if they want to quickly solve this problem, speed up this matter, he shouldn't have given a tip because it slowed down the process. So expedite and slow down, there are two different meanings. So in this case, it's an antonym. All right. And antonym is spelled A-N-T-O-N-Y-M. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a bit hard, right? I'll just bear with us. I think we're making good progress. Okay, next question. Does anyone want to read this? It's a very short sentence. Anyone give it a try?
So variable means not confirm.
Okay. So I'll just read it. So with this variable weather, it can be hot today and cold tomorrow. So Sashi, you said not confirm, is it? I'll just
It doesn't change, it's changing.
Changeable.
It's changing.
changing, is it?
And various.
All right. Okay, so that's variable, right? So what do you think is, how do you arrive at this why do you think that variable is not confirm or changing? What part in the sentence tells you, or what words are important here?
So these sentences have a small logic. It is cold or hot. Am I right, sir?
There are actually there are two meanings to two context clues that you can use in this short sentence. So Sashi, you were saying that, is it the hot today and cold tomorrow?
Can be and could. Can be.
Oh,
Can be. And could.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so there are two things here. So I think variable, this is an example or illustration, because they are saying that with this variable weather, it can be hot today and cold tomorrow. So variable, when you can take it to mean that it is hot today and cold tomorrow. So this is actually example or illustration context clue. Okay. Okay, so but actually variable is also you can also split the word up into two different words. So it's also can be a root word and affixes in this case. So okay, I think somebody said various, right? Was it Dharma or Sashi? So the word various, actually the root word of various is vary, V-A-R-Y, which means change. So so once you put these two things together, vary and variable, it becomes variable, right? Vary and able, variable. It also means changeable. So changing is also the correct answer. So in this short sentence, we see two types of context clues being used here. So you know that it's hot today and cold tomorrow. That means it's always changing. And the root word variable means various or varied. It means changes. So you also know that the weather is always changing. So there are two context clues being used here. Okay, it's a bit, yeah, this is interesting. This is a bit this is simple, but I think you can figure out two different types of context clues being used. Okay, so the next question for this easier one. The ground is very fertile, so we expect to grow a surplus of crops this year. What is the meaning of fertile?
Suitable for the grow.
Grow, is it? Sashi said grow. Does anyone else have?
There are more fertilizer.
How do you all know?
Grow.
Sorry?
Grow.
Is this correct? Well grown? Who said well grown? Does anyone else wants to? How do you all know that it's well grown or fertile? Oh, I see Chatu unmuting. Do you want to share?
They expect the surplus of crops this year will grow.
Okay. Okay, Bhumi, you are saying that because we expect to grow a surplus of crops this year, that makes you think that the ground is can grow crops, right? So what is the type of context clues being used? This one is remember earlier I said that there's a lot of there are some sentences that actually describes the meaning of the word. So does anybody know what is the type of category? It's not a synonym or antonym, right? Because there's no similar words or opposite words. So
Logic or helping word?
This one. Okay, good try, Buhumi. Yeah, Sashi, you were saying?
Definition.
Definition, is it? Okay, good try. Okay, it's not definition because there is no explanation of fertile in the next after the comma, right? We don't see it. We don't see them explaining why the ground or how the ground is fertile. So it's not definition. Buhumi, you said logic or helping words, right?
Yes.
It's not exactly helping words or logic because although the ground is very fertile, there might not be a surplus of crops, even though the ground is very fertile, because there are other things that come into play, right? You have the weather, you have the fertilizer and all that. So what is actually being used here is actually the example or illustration context clues, because they help to illustrate, they help to describe that the ground is part of the meaning of fertile, which is that the ground will produce abundant supply of crops. So they are trying to illustrate or draw an example that the ground is very fertile. So that means that there's a possibility that the ground can produce an abundant supply of crops. So it's an example or illustration. Okay. So, okay. Let's try the next one, okay? The bird dove under the water and came up a minute later with a fish in its mouth. Okay, definition and context clues. Does anybody know what dove means? It's a bit difficult. Can anyone give it a try? What does the meaning of dove means? Thank you.
It is a bird.
Chatu, is it Chatu? You say it's a bird, is it? It's not a bird. In this case, it's not a bird, but the dove as a noun, it means it's a bird. It refers to a type of bird. But for this case, it's not. It's an action.
Swam in the deep water.
Yes.
Going into the deep water.
Vendama, that's correct. Okay. So how do you know that it's going into the deep water?
It said under the water and came up.
Okay. And what does this what is being used here? Under the water and came up.
And came up.
It's what kind of context clues is being used here?
It's also illustration.
Sorry?
It's also illustration.
Oh, okay. Good try. It's not illustration, but there's a difference, right? Because under the water and coming up. So there's a difference in the action. So that means it's a antonym. Antonym, I spelled correctly, correct. So actually, it's a bit difficult, I know. This one is dove is a bird. I think Chatu mentioned, right? It can be a bird, but for this example, this is an action word. So actually, dove is the past tense of dive. So dive is the present tense of dove. And then it will, it actually means going head first into the water. You can see that it goes under the water, right? So actually the action of diving, I think you all will know that diving, your head will go first into the water. So when Dharma said that coming up, right, under the water, so that is a contrast, right? Because you're going head first in the water and you're coming up. There are two different actions. So these are the context clue here is antonym. So there's a difference between diving and coming up. Okay. Yeah, so yeah. Thanks for all the effort, the participation. It's a bit difficult, I know. We all continue on, okay? Okay, next question 10. All right. Okay, can somebody read this? And then tell me, what does expression mean? Mahisha, Imandi, Ajanta. You want to give it a go?
Expression meaning is a statement, sir.
Statement. So actually, that's a good try, but that's not what it means here.
Action of someone's feelings.
Someone's feelings, is it, Buhumi?
Yes, sir. Thoughts or feelings.
Okay.
Like emotion.
Okay, emotion, feeling. Let's see. I think I'll just write it down here. Emotion, feelings. Oh, sorry, Buhumi, you said it's
An action of someone's thoughts or feelings.
say what, yeah, action of someone. Okay, so all right. So actually, how do y'all so how do y'all know, what do y'all use in the sentence to find to what made you think that expression is what you say it is, emotions, feelings, or thoughts or feelings? How do y'all guess or infer from the sentence? What part of the sentence made you think that way?
He changed from angry to sad.
Okay, good. That's great. From angry to sad, right? So that's okay, thanks, Buni. So this one, what type of context clue is being used here? Remember earlier I said that there are some parts where they do try to explain. So
Equal words and
sorry?
Helping us.
Okay. So happiness, right? So this one is actually an example or an illustration. So they are giving you an example of an expression, right? Angry is one example, sad is one example. So it's an example or illustration context clue. Okay, but there's also another type of context clue being used here. Does anybody know what it is? Does anyone want to try to guess? It's another one. Because this word, right, has many parts. So okay. Word has many parts, right? So it means that actually there's a root word and fixes. Okay. X, right? X actually is outward. And question means the act of expressing. So this is a bit difficult because you are not. So X is outward and the outward expression. So it also can be a root word and affixes. So if you understand what X means, you probably will guess that expression is actually the look on someone's face. Okay. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
This area has a firmly raining, sir. Sorry, sir. I haven't leave, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can't hear you just now.
Yes, sir. This area has a firmly raining, sir. I have a signal issue. I haven't,
Okay.
sir. Sorry for the me, sir.
Oh, no problem, no problem. It's okay. Yeah, it's
Thank
okay. Yeah. It's okay. I understand. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, sir. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. I think we'll do this last question first, and then I think it's about time already anyway. Okay. Does anybody want to give a try? What's enroll?
Register. Sir.
Okay. All right, that's great. So how do you know that this is a register? Basically, this one is similar meaning, right? So register and enroll, they are synonyms. So this context clue, this is the context clue used here is synonym. Let me just write it down. Okay. Okay, so now I think we have done the review. I think it's a bit difficult for all of you, right? Because it's a very new subject, and I think you all need some time to figure out what are the types of context clues and how to use them in the sentence. I think you got the idea there, but it's just maybe you have some there are some doubts and some areas they are not sure, so that's why you are not so confident in expressing yourselves. But it's okay. I think the next session we will cover on more on this area, and also I think we will also focus something on more on the meaning of the words and the different meanings of words like X or construct or what and whatsoever, so that you have a better understanding of how to use and use the context clues in the sentences. So it's about time now. So I'll pass the time back to Reverend Akila. Or Jamie. Jamie, are you there?
Sorry.
It's the end of the lesson.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you everyone. Goodbye and see you again.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.